All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm seeing letting folks join. But I want to welcome you to our meet and greet for today with Ohio Digital Learning School. We'll give folks a couple of seconds to come in. Please tell us your name and what part of the state you're coming from in the chat box just so we can get to know who is here. Right. Welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm seeing some from Akron, Cleveland, Dayton, saw South Euclid, Uniontown. Welcome. To those just joining, I'm just allowing participants to state their name, what part of the state they're coming from. But I want to welcome you all to our meet and greet today with Ohio Digital Learning School. We're going to start in about a minute. I see Toledo. Great. Welcome. Just so you know, this is being recorded. So if you're unable to stay for the full time, we will make the recording available to everyone who's registered, and we'll also be putting it on our YouTube page. But please feel free to state your name and state if you're just now coming in the room, and we're going to get started. My name is Andrea Wilson. I will be your moderator for today. But again, I want to welcome everyone to our Ohio Digital Learning School meet and greet. Before I get started, I will have some of our staff from Ohio Digital Learning School just to introduce themselves, tell us their role and how long they've been with Stride, and then we will start our presentation. So Kate, if you would like to start off.
Sure thing. I'm Kate Harkless. I'm the second picture there on the slide. I'm the head of school, which is our fancy version of superintendent. I've been with K-12 just about 7 years. Well, Stride, see, that's how old I am. I still sometimes call it K-12. I've been with Stride for about 7 years and love it here.
Crystal, if you would like to go next.
I'm Crystal Lockwood. I am the Academic Administrator of Special Programs, also known as the Special Ed Director. This is my second year with Stride, and this is my 18th year in education.
Erica and then Mahaley.
Hi everyone, I'm Erica Trapp and I am our high school art teacher, and I'm also our lead teacher and mentor our RESA teachers. This is my 15th year as a teacher, and 7 of those I've spent with K-12/Stride.
My name is Mahaley Albin. I'm the academic administrator, or, in a traditional building, you would know me as the principal. And I am working through my 8th year here with Stride, through many different positions, and really enjoying that growth and being able to, continue with the company.
And Chika, feel free to take the mic.
Hi, my name is Chika. Many of you may have already received or will receive an email from me, and I go by the name Chai for short. I'm the academic recruiter here, and I review applications and move you forward and extend offers.
Thank you so much. And again, you'll be hearing from them later on in the PowerPoint, but I first wanted to just give you a little bit of background about who Stride is. Earlier we talked about K-12. We were under the name as K-12, but we've expanded. So now we have changed our name to Stride. K-12 has been around for over 20 years, and we were first focused more on K through 12. Again, we provide online education. We have online public schools, private schools. We also provide curriculum. So we also provide that to brick and mortar schools as well if they need it. But we changed our name to Stride because we believe that the learner just doesn't stop at 12th grade. We also wanted to incorporate college prep courses as well as preparing students for the career force. So we have acquired some companies. We have Galvanize, Tech Elevator, Hack Reactor, and MedCerts. Those are some of our career development programs where we offer coding boot camps, certifications for, again, for medical certification, and other tech boot camps that we offer. But again, when you see our schools, they are still under K-12, so you will still see that logo, but it comes under the umbrella of Stride. So next, I'm going to turn it over to Kate so she can tell us a little bit more about Ohio Digital Learning School.
Okay, well, my favorite thing is to talk about our school. I think we're pretty special. We are designated as a dropout prevention and recovery school in Ohio. So we serve students in high school, so grades 9 through 12, and our students are 16 to 21. They live anywhere and everywhere across the state of Ohio. I believe we represent 83 counties at the moment. And our focus is on supporting students who are either credit deficient or are at risk due to just various situations. So we have students who who come in and they've had gaps in their education, and we have students who have been here the whole time. So but we love our students. We spend a lot of time. I don't think we have this on the slide here, but we do follow a bell schedule, which I'm sure that Erica will talk a little bit about as well, and what that looks like. But we believe in mentoring our students. So every teacher has a mentor group that they work with. We teach virtually, but we do have some face-to-face opportunities throughout the year between state testing as well as navigator outposts. And those are local meetups to study and work on study skills. Our our mascot is the Navigators, which is where we have a lot of things that are themed with our Navigator mascot. We're finishing up our second year, so it's been a great 2 years. We've been growing. We had over 500 students, almost 600 students this year, almost doubled in size over last year. So we're anticipating even more growth, which is why we are looking to hire for all positions. So, and we'll be conducting interviews over the summer for those positions to start in late July. And I think we've covered, I didn't talk about our teachers. We do have 27 teachers on staff, again, located across the state. I will pass this
Awesome.
to Erica to talk about what it looks like.
Hey everyone. So I'm sure you have a lot of questions about how virtual learning works. Some of you may have had to do some virtual learning and learn in the midst of a COVID year. Some of you might have students that are home. And our program is going to look a little different from the traditional public school method or methods that were kind of created over the year. And some of the things are definitely the same, like our bell schedule. So our students, they work from home from all across the state. They are between typically the ages of 16 and 21, since we're a credit recovery dropout prevention school. And our students do have full-time jobs. Some of them are home all day long. And so there is some flexibility for them to attend later in the day and watch recordings, or they stick to our bell schedule. So we do start classes at 8:30, but teachers begin their workday at 8 o'clock. We log in, check our email. We're always communicating back and forth with students throughout the day. And we have 45-minute live Class Connect sessions. And we use a platform called Neuro. And it's really similar to Zoom, but there's more permissions for your students to be able to share files and work together in groups. They have cameras, they have chat available. And then they also have another platform, which is our online middle school and high school, where they log in and they have their reading materials, which would be kind of like their textbook. They can do assessments there that sometimes are computer graded, which is always helpful for, for lesson checks to see how students are doing, and convenient for teachers because you don't have to grade everything. And then there are, of course, teacher graded projects like papers to write, art projects. We do make artwork at home in online school. And typically we're about finished with teaching around 3:30 in the afternoon. And afternoons, we have some meetings, and the hours do vary day to day depending on your workload. And your curriculum is provided for you, which is really nice. Your online system kind of gives you a list of assignments and, oh gosh, all the things that you could imagine to teach your students online. So you're not developing too many of those things on your own, which is really nice. Is there anything that I left out? Mahaley or Kate?
The only thing I would add is that you are still able to create lesson plans. This
Oh,
isn't like
of course.
scripted where you have to follow along. I remember when I was teaching and interviewing, there were some places where you had to follow the script, and this isn't like that. The curriculum is there and available to you, but we ask our teachers to go in and individualize it to meet the needs of our students.
And what's provided is really great, but you bring yourself to the classroom just like you would in any brick and mortar building. So our curriculum is kind of like a mixture between a textbook and assessments, but you are teaching them day to day, just like you would in a regular building. It's a great combination of tools.
Now I will have Mahaley just to talk a little bit about the different benefits of working for ODLS, or Ohio Digital Learning School, and talking about like the training and what you all offer as well.
Sure, thanks. So we do have quite a bit of training. We have our own platform training through K-12 Stride, and then we also have, I'm going to call it local training, but at the school level training, where we meet and talk through anything that's coming up, anything that we see as a need. I will say, of all of my years in education, being able to open a school and really build this community of, you tell us what's working and we'll keep it. You tell us what's not working and we'll change it. A lot of our processes here really come from our teachers and them saying, you know what, I know we do it this way, but I think I have a better way. So your voice and your passion and your experience all really matter here. And to me, that's a really big benefit. That's probably not going to be listed on paper anywhere, just our school culture. We do offer, your standard medical, dental, vision, FSAs, disability leaves. If you have parental leave time, we definitely recognize that. Any sort of life insurance, accident, all of those kinds of things. We provide your laptop and a printer, and an internet reimbursement monthly. It is capped, but we do provide a reimbursement for teachers for that. For any travel time, we also provide mileage, meal reimbursements where appropriate. And so you would see those things for the couple of times a year that we do get together in person and for state testing. Another big thing with our employees here is the SNHU partnership. And Erica, I believe that you are taking classes or getting ready to take classes. You can earn a master's degree 100% online, completely free as a benefit of being a staff member here at ODLS or at any of the K-12 powered schools. There are a lot of national PLCs that you can be a part of. So beyond, just the training that we offer to everyone, there are additional opportunities as well. If you have a passion or you want to join a book club or you want to become part of something bigger, we can help you find that. We can help you find free training for pretty much anything. If we can't help you find a free training, we can definitely help you find some inexpensive trainings.
Mahaley, you said PLC. Can you elaborate on what PLC means?
Sure. Just like in a brick and mortar school, a PLC is a professional learning community. And because we're in the state of Ohio, we also have teacher-based teams or TBTs. So our teachers meet to talk about data weekly. And then we also meet monthly for school-wide trainings, although it'll be a little more differentiated next year with some more some more flexibility for teachers and the ability to kind of share their strengths a little bit more. Anything you want to add, Crystal? Or Kate or Erica?
I'll just add on just the growth opportunities too within Stride. I think are a big benefit. Both Mahaley and I started off as teachers at a different Stride powered school. So there's lots of room for, lots of opportunities. If you love it and you find that you want to do more, there's a lot out there.
I guess, and to add to that, I kind of came from the opposite background of Mahaley and Kate, where I did 10 years of intervention teaching in the brick and mortar, 5 years as an administrator in the traditional building. And then I came on board last year as a special ed director. And it's been the best decision I've ever made. So it really allows for growth and opportunity, and depending on your personal experiences.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. So now I'm going to let Chika, who is our recruiter for Ohio Digital Learning School, to tell us a little bit about how you can apply to any roles that you may be interested in and what the application process is like.
So I too was a teacher for 10 years. So I know applying online may be a little bit different for a lot of people. So you can visit our website. I've put it up here. You can search by state. You can put in Ohio and read the job description, and you can apply right there on the page. There's a little link. When we review it, I do look for your certification. So if you can at all remember to please attach a copy of your cert. Otherwise, I will go and look it up before I can move you forward. We ask that all our teachers be certified in Ohio. And then, of course, to attach your resume there. Then if you get moved to the next step, we use a digital platform called HireVue, where you will be recording yourself with your laptop teaching a lesson. I get this sometimes. People ask, well, do I need students? And it's like, no, we're just interested in you. You do not need students to record yourself teaching a lesson. And there's a grading rubric there, some that we ask you to look at and include in your lesson. And then the next step would be the hiring managers would take a look at your digital interview. And if they decide to interview you, they will schedule a one-on-one, like a Zoom meeting, much like you would in a brick and mortar. You would, interview with the principal. I know it can be a little disconcerting to record yourself. So one of the tips I like to tell people is, choose a quiet space, take some time to review the questions before you hit record. There is an opportunity to re-record yourself should you, feel like you didn't do the best job the first time around. That's a really good tip. And, have your computer at this level. We don't really want to see the bottom of your chin. Just a little tip there for you. And I think that's it. Okay, so, and then if we select you to extend an offer, you will hear from me. I personally call everyone.
Thank you, Chai. And Courtney, if you just want to go back to show the current rules that we have right now, just so they can see what we're looking for. Again, we looking for high school positions right now, or for this school, they're catered to high school. So English, science, social studies, math, and also special education teachers are needed. All right. So before we go into questions, because I am seeing, and feel free to start putting your questions in the chat box and we will say them over the microphone. But if you haven't already followed us, please follow us at Careers at Stride. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We talk about the different events that we have going on, as well as we'll sometimes post different tips, whether it be about interviewing or how to apply, and other things that are just going on with Stride as well. We may do some highlights of new people that have joined the company, or just other things that employees are doing here at Stride. We also have a QR code right now on your screen if you'd like to join our talent community. It's another way that you can find out kind of the first before everyone else on the different events that we do have going on, or where we, if we're participating in other interview fairs or things like that. So you can either sign up by scanning the QR code that's on the screen right now, or we'll put the link to that in the chat box as well. But just our shameless plug, please follow us at Careers at Stride. So now this is the part where everyone can participate, the question and answer portion. So I did see some questions and I will say them over the microphone so our folks from Ohio Digital Learning School can answer. Now, someone had asked about, do classes include administrative courses? Maybe we can talk more a little about the curriculum that we offer.
I believe, and Scott, let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe you're referring there to the SNHU courses. So the SNHU pathways are for a master's in online teaching, and they're actually micro-credentials that you can get along the way, and when you finish all the micro-credentials, you have your master's. But we do also offer reimbursement. So should you decide that that pathway isn't for you and you are taking other classes, I'm not sure what the cap is on that, but we do have teachers who started with us who were already in other master's programs or taking courses here or there where they have been able to do a reimbursement for the class once they finished that.
I see Claire asked how many live classes are there, and then how does a bell system work online? If someone could address that one.
Sure. And feel free to jump in, guys, because I'll just take all these questions out of habit. So the way that a bell schedule works online is that students have links to their individual live class sessions. Teachers do as well. So we actually have a morning where we will sit down and schedule out all your classes, make sure that your students are invited correctly, and then boom, it's like magic. It's on their schedule and on your schedule every day until the end of that term. I think it's important to know that we do offer semester classes. We also offer 9-week classes, and that we did not go over. So we have accelerated classes, we have standard level classes. So our credit recovery tends to be 9 weeks. In terms of how many classes are you teaching, that may vary based on offerings. However, this year, most of our teachers taught 4 times. Some of them it was 4 preps, some of them it was 2 preps. It just depends on what you're teaching and what our student needs are. That's how we plan our schedule, not based on teachers, but based on student needs.
Along with that, Mahaley, is one of the really unique things about our intervention team is that we currently have 2 teachers who teach the extended learning standards. And some of those students are alternate assessed and some of those students are not. So they're with those students all day long unless they go out for a related service or if they go out for an elective, and then those 2 particular teachers often will follow those students if need be.
Let's see. I saw.
I know one of the questions that I get in interviews for intervention teachers is we do follow the Ohio caseload. So your max caseload for special education students is 24. This year we have got to that point several times throughout the year. And then as students come and go, that kind of adjusts. So you may have a caseload of 24 and then students leave and you may get new students. So your caseload fluctuates.
Currently, so Claire asked, what is the max for content teachers? And Kate, you're going to have to correct me if this is changing.
It's 190 is the max. Most of our teachers don't have that many at this point, but that is the maximum for content area teachers.
Just to jump in,
Yes,
that
we
sounds
do.
a little scary, but it's
Oh, go ahead,
really
Erica.
not that bad. Just being on the teacher perspective of hearing you may have 190 students. It's not as bad as you think it sounds from the beginning. Typically in a class connect session where you're live like we are now, you may have anywhere between 5 students and 45 students at one time, but it's easy to get to know your students. A lot of them will reach out through email. There's a lot of responses that you can give through your online course to be able to guide your students who maybe can't come to class. So don't think you're going to come in and have 190 students on day one. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The other question about, do we expect additional position openings later this summer? Yes, we do. We do have our general teaching positions posted, but we are looking at some potential grant funded positions through Title I and through ESSER. But as those aren't finalized yet, they're not going to be posted until they've been approved. So we expect that. We may have positions. We do have student support advisors, and as we grow, we may be adding additional advisors and counselors as well. So yes, keep checking and see what we post on there.
And then I saw, Scott, to answer your question, our special ed teachers do the transfer of new students coming in. They write the IEPs and they work with our school psychologists to do the evaluation team report. You also do progress reports. And it's a little different in the virtual setting because of the way our credit recovery students work. We do them twice a year instead of quarterly. We do them by semester. But you would do everything you would traditionally do in a brick and mortar for your intervention students and your caseload. And we do all the training and working with you to teach you how to do the transfer and accept or reject a document, and then how to work through writing those IEPs. It is a little different in the virtual setting.
Now, this isn't a question in the chat box, but I will pose to the staff. I wanted to ask, as far as I know, we'll get questions in other webinars about when they're switching from brick and mortar to virtual. How do you keep, I guess, community, or how do you all stay connected as staff? And then how do the students stay connected? Like, are there clubs, or what are ways that you all stay connected virtually?
I can start answering that, but I suspect other people will want to chime in also. So first, with students, we do offer some student clubs. We'll be offering, more for next year. We did talk about some of those face-to-face opportunities in person for studying and socializing. As things start opening up and we've got less worries about COVID, we'll try to have more field trips. We didn't offer any this year, but we did have some last year. We do once a week. We call it the Gator Pond because so we're the navigators. So our mascot is actually an alligator dressed up as a navigator. And so we have Gator Pond, which is our virtual socialization. We do have student groups as well. So we've got a group for students who have anxiety, and these are meeting with our school social worker, students who are parents, because we do have quite a few students who are parents of their own. Um, a support not I don't know, support group's not the right word, but a community for our LGBTQ students as well. So we've got a lot of virtual options as well. And then I remember being surprised when I transitioned to teaching virtually, how much better I got to know some of my students, because you're working with them and they're in their home, and you're going to hear about, like, oh, I did this with my student or my child. Sometimes they're attending class with one, a kid on their lap or with a baby. So you really get to know your students through the in-class sessions and also through email, phone calls. And then as far as how we connect as a staff, again, even though we're virtual, I do feel like in every school setting I've been in virtually, like we're more connected. We work through Skype, but we're moving to Teams, and we do Zoom calls as well. We do have essentially weekly meetings, so, once a month where you're with the whole staff, and then into our different departments, gen ed, special ed, student support. Um, we do try to get together in person as well for some professional development. Um, but a lot of times when you have a question, you just Skype somebody and ask them, or get in a call and work together. And so even though we might be on different sides of the state, you end up with a group of people that you feel really close to.
And to add to that, you kind of jump, like you're as a brick and mortar teacher, you're so used to in between classes or writing notes, like I need to do this, or I need to figure this out, or I need to ask the principal this. And that's the kind of the nice part. You learn to not kind of wait when it's in your mind. If you need that question answered, you, like Kate said, we're using Teams now, but you Skype Mahaley, myself, Kate, any of us, and we try to get back to you, and your co-teachers are the same way. And then when she was talking about like the departments, like our special ed department, we have our weekly staff meeting every Monday this year it's been, and we do a lot of activities like talking through things and working together, but it's not anything for one of my teachers to jump on Teams or on Skype and say, hey, can I call you? I've got a question. And if I'm not in a meeting, my door, literally my Zoom door, I guess, is always open. And I'm accessible to my staff pretty much from 7:30 in the morning until about 9 o'clock at night, and they utilize it. They call me, they text me. That's just kind of how we operate, and we operate as a big family, and we take care of each other. And this year has really proven to be that. We've had a lot of family traumatic experiences within my team this year, and they've pulled together and worked through it, and it's a big family.
Thank you. I know that's one I'd like to, if someone doesn't ask in the chat, I typically like to ask, especially for each school, because every school is different. I was trying to see if anyone else had any questions in the chat box.
I guess one big thing too is our admin team is very approachable. You will find probably none other in any of the buildings or any districts I've ever been in have I been able to walk down to my superintendent's office and ask a question. And Mahaley and I both know that Kate's door is always open. When we're in the office together, it's nothing to have quick meetings. So you'll find that the admin team is very approachable and will do anything to support their teachers as well.
To add to that, since I'm a recruiter, I handle other Stride managed public schools too. And I have to say that as a company, it is a very tight professional community here at ODLS, and also at the other schools that I also help with in recruiting. So that, I mean, it's amazing. And even myself in HR, we're a very tight-knit team. I love working virtually from home. I have worked in the national office. As Andrea knows, we used to be lunch partners, and now I've moved back to Hawaii. So ODLS is all across Ohio, but we do have employees that live all over the country, including Hawaii.
Yes, and I'll definitely add to what I was saying. Even on corporate side, we are close knit, as even though we're right now virtually. Typically, I would be in our office. Our main office is located in Herndon, Virginia, but with everything still going on, we're all virtual right now. But yes, we definitely are close knit as well. We have our meetings within our team or department, so we stay very well connected. And again, if anyone has a question, we always try to reach out and help the other that needs help with anything. So I did see someone asking about the interview process, and they were asking could they participate. The interview process is virtual, so we would be sending you the link to participate in the interview. The first one that you typically have will be a pre-recorded, where there will be questions that you answer, and then we'll review. And then after they review it, if you're asked to move forward to the next interview, it would be a virtual interview, just as I'm talking to you through the screen right now. It would be that way, and you would be talking to the interviewers.
And I think Mahaley and I both can definitely say we've interviewed potential candidates while they've been on family vacations. So it's not a big deal. Like right now I'm at our family cottage. So, you know, that's the beauty. You can be anywhere. And as like Chai said, as long as you got your laptop, you're good.
Other questions? If not, I would say, were there any, I guess, final thoughts that our staff would like to say before we wrap our meet and greet today? And if so, we can hop on the microphone.
I'll say, so we are very, mission focused on serving our students. Everything that we do, it, comes down to, is this what's best for our students? We put our students first. Then we put our staff second, because they're they're also really important to us too. But so we are looking for people who are who really have a passion for serving students, particularly our opportunity youth as we're a dropout prevention and recovery school. Some people might have negative connotations with that, but really, I mean, our students are great. They're amazing. We love working with them. Um, but definitely something, you want to make sure that this is something that you care about as well. So if you love serving students, then we are a great fit for you. Um, if if that's not your priority, we're probably not a very good fit. And I just want to be, clear about that early on. So, but yeah, we love what we do, and we can't wait to add more people who also love teaching and love helping students grow.
I guess I should add, if you've never taught virtually before and you've been in a classroom for 5, 10, 15 years and you decide to try virtual, 100%, it is like your first year of teaching all over again. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel overwhelmed by October 31st, by Halloween. If you can stick with me through Halloween, you're going to feel so much better. And the nature of being virtual, I questioned it, a couple of years into being a virtual teacher. I had the opportunity to take my lunch break and go sit in on a friend's health class. And I didn't realize how many things about me had changed, because I thought, well, maybe I want to go back to a brick and mortar. All that chatter in a brick and mortar and all of the kids just goofing off and all that behavior stuff, it's so different online. Like, we don't deal with that hardly at all online. Our kids are here and they're focused and they are here to get an education. So I think that was really beneficial to be able to go back and say, I definitely want to stay virtual. Going back it's not an option for me anymore. But for some people, they do. They try out virtual and they say, you know what, it's not for me. That's okay. We respect that. Just being honest to who you are.
And I will add to that, Mahaley. One of my favorite things, and I know Mahaley enjoys it as well, and Erica, I'm sure as a teacher, is, our students who are coming to us with so much baggage, and they find out that you truly are here to help them and that you care and that you want to see them succeed, and you build those relationships. When they're getting ready to walk out that graduation stage, the amount of thank yous and the amount of, I couldn't have done this without you. I've never had a teacher care so much about me and my family and my situation. It brings you to tears. I mean, I don't typically cry at graduation. And last year was our first graduating class, and I cried through the entire graduation because those are the kids who, I had one who came with 1 credit and she got 17 credits as a special ed student, and then did some additional test outs and got her 20 credits and graduated. And she wouldn't have been able to do that without our support.
That is awesome. Well, I want to thank all of our staff for joining today: Kate, Erica, Mahaley, Crystal, and our recruiter Chai, for joining us today and just letting us learn a little bit more about Ohio Digital Learning School. Again, this has been recorded, so if you weren't able to join at the very beginning, we will be sending this out to all of the registrants. Will also be putting it on our YouTube page as well, so you can go back and review. But again, I do want to thank you all for attending today. My name is Andrea Wilson, and again, thank you for attending our meet and greet, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.